in-flight adjustments, and maybe just call on 3 of you to do the actions here and activities. So, yeah, probably, even though I've done this many times, I'm probably going to still refer to my notes.
You're ready.
3:25, so I got until, or 3:35, so I got to 4:05, okay. 4 or 4:05.
Or
We'll make it
3:55 to 4.
3:55. Okay, we'll make it snappy, maybe. Welcome, class, to surfing 101. This is very fundamental surfing. This is not professional surfing. This is surfing without you having to have any knowledge really of the ocean or waves or anything. Have any of you ever seen somebody surfing and thought to yourself, that doesn't look like any fun? Anyone? Every time you see someone surfing, it looks like they're having a good time, enjoying themselves. Cool. Do you think surfing is something that can relieve stress?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for your participation, Jonah. Why don't you put a star next to your name? For every time you respond, you get a star. Do you think surfing is something that can bring you closer to nature and or closer to like your spiritual well-being? Yeah. Right on. Okay. Well, if you were curious about these things, you're going to find out today after we do our land lesson, because this is only going to be a land lesson. I'm not going to bring you guys all out into the water just yet. So we're going to learn initially on land, which is most important before we get into the water, just for safety reasons and whatnot. As we've gone over, studies have shown there are plenty of ways surfing can improve our lives. Just like most positive or beneficial things in life, there's a lot of work that's required to reach righteous goals and good goals. Here, today, we're going to go through 4 simple steps on how to get that money shot. And the money shot would be like this. To be on the cover of Surfer magazine, actually on the board though. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and write the 4 steps on the board initially here to help you guys along, because as you know, we're going to be going through a process, and so as we go through a process, there are steps that go along with it. So the first step would be to arch your back. Wish I had a Vanna White right now. This would make it a lot quicker.
Do you get more stars next to our name?
No, that wasn't a race thing, by the way. And I will definitely not say that during my actual lesson. The next step is bringing your, and there's more details to each one of these steps, but these are just the basic steps.
You are doing your actual lesson.
Huh?
You are doing your
I
actual.
know. I'll keep it clean from here on. Okay, bring your knees forward would be the next step. After that would be to bring one foot forward. And the final step would be to pivot both of your feet and plant them on the board. And stay low. That's very important though. Okay. So, as we go through all of these steps, I'm going to give you details of why we do these things in order to get up on the board and stay on the board. Let's see here. So the 2 goals of today with the surfboard and surfing, the 2 main goals are going to be to memorize these steps as well as be able to perform them on the board. So obviously, when we're doing a step-by-step kind of situation, you have to remember what order they're in and whatnot, and then as you get to the board, you'll understand why all these steps are important and why they're important to go in order. For those of you who already have a solid knowledge how to surf, is there anybody that has experience with surfing? No? Okay, great. So for you two, just because you have some experience, obviously this is very fundamental, we'll have you guys learn this process in order to be able to maybe teach it to someone in the future, so you can be able to teach someone how to surf the simple process.
That would be so cool.
Jonah, I'll probably call on you more than anyone else for being the experienced surfer in this situation. I appreciate your willingness to go forward. So, next here, let's see here. Initially, so again, these are rash guards. These are things that we wear around the water. I don't think any of this wax will get on any of your clothes. So, but can I have Jonah for sure and 2 other people that will perform the functions? Jack, thank you. Anybody? Alex, thank you for requesting to perform as well. I appreciate it. So yeah, if you want to wear a rash guard, you can. Again, it's not 100% required. I don't think any of the wax is going to come off on your clothes. So for you 3, can I get you 3 to come up here initially? We just have to figure out if you're goofy or regular. Do you know whether or not you're goofy or regular? Experienced surfer?
I'm kind of both.
Kind of both. Okay, so either way, you're going to be comfortable. That's great.
Hey, Eric, time out. Back up and show us those steps before you do anything with the students.
Okay.
What?
I want to get in their brains whether they're goofy or regular, so that when I'm performing the steps, I can say, you see me putting my left foot forward. If you're goofy, you're going to be putting your right foot forward, so keep that in mind as I'm going through the rest of the steps. I was just going to have them do that and then have them take a seat again.
How do you know if you're goofy?
How do I know if I am?
Yeah, you.
Because I've surfed a lot.
So what? How did you know that you were goofy?
That's what I was going to do with them. I was going to have them, turn around.
I've never done
So
this test.
maybe that should be step 1.
Okay. That's not really part of the... Yeah, because some people, what happens sometimes, and I've seen this happen a lot, is initially I just want them to think about the fact that either their left foot is going to go forward or their right foot is going to go forward. Because when we actually get out in the water, some people find it more comfortable to switch that around, even though we do the test on land first. It's not really part of like the actual procedure of getting, because you can stand up and have both feet sideways. I just wanted them to be engaged in thinking about like themselves in the situation as I was going.
Go ahead.
All right. Since Joan already knows, you already know, you're good. Alex, please.
You're free. Sit down.
Yeah, regular. You know you're regular for
Wait,
sure?
what does that mean, like goofy regular, like your personality?
No. I love it. No, it's whether you put your left foot forward or your right foot forward.
Right foot forward.
Are you 100% sure you're regular? Just go
Yes.
turn around for me.
I'm right-handed.
That doesn't matter.
Just do it real quick.
Just turn around real
Do
quick
it.
for me.
It's fine.
Here.
Okay.
Trust me. Okay, so your left foot most likely is going to go forward first because that's the one that you...
But my, okay.
Most right-handed
left foot.
people are regular with their left foot forward.
Okay, well, I just don't want to be goofy.
You're not goofy. You are regular. Okay. So yeah. See here, as you can see, these steps are easy to understand. Does anybody have any questions on these steps? Arch your back, bring your knees forward, bring one foot forward. Sorry, I learned how to spell one here. I'll explain in detail more, but these are pretty readily understandable as steps, right? Because we're going to refer back to them as you're on the board. So, okay, I'm quickly burning daylight here. So, initially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go through all of the steps. Okay. Okay. So, arch your back, bring your knees forward, bring one foot forward, pivot your feet, and stay low. All right, so as you can see, this is the board. This is the stringer of the board. The stringer is the very center of the board. Positioning and your center of gravity on the board is very important to surfing and to just balance in general when you're on an object, all right? So, I'm gonna go ahead and lay down on the board as if I were gonna go surf right now, and I'm wrecking the heck out of my fins, but that's okay. So, your main function is just going to be these steps. I'm going to guide you into the wave correctly and everything. All you have to do is remember how to do these steps. I'll take care of the rest for you and I'll even push you. Okay, so first thing I'm going to say when we're in the water is arch your back. And you need to remember that once I say that, you're going to have to remember the rest of the steps on your own because you're going to be far away from me by the time you have to do all the rest of these steps. So first thing is arch your back. So you want to put your hands on the rails of the board, right near your ribs, or just above where your waist is, and you want to hold this for a couple seconds. It's an in-flight adjustment, so I didn't write that in last time. You want to hold this for a couple seconds as you feel the wave pulling you. The next step is bringing your knees forward. So again, keep 4 points of contact on the board, and have your knees forward, okay? You're going to be continuing with your center of gravity being on the board, your hands are on the rails. The next step is bringing 1 foot forward. Now, if you're goofy, you bring your right foot forward. If you're regular like I am and everybody else seems to be, you bring your left foot forward. And you want to keep your hands on the rails while you're bringing that foot forward. If you have to take your hand off for a second, that's fine. Just make sure you're always trying to keep 4 points of contact on the board. And the last step is pivot your feet and stay low. You're going to turn this foot and you're going to drop this foot down and help it to find its way so that both of your feet are cut right in the middle of the board so that you have perfect center balance on the board. You're right in the middle of the board and you want to stay low. And there's the end picture. There's the perfect circle shot. Okay? So, again, what did I do initially? I arched my back, then I brought my knees forward, then I brought 1 foot forward, and then I pivoted my feet and I stayed low. Okay, so my 3 volunteers, we're going to go through this real quick. Each one of you. And you can look at the board. I mean, it's here. I'm here to help guide you in this as well as the board
I
as we
think
go.
this white guy needs
So-
a rash going.
It's up to you, whichever one of you wants to go first.
Jonah.
Okay, Jonah gets to go first. All right, Jonah. So, again, very simple elementary experience, surfer guy. So,
Okay.
remember, for you especially, you're going to be more learning how to do this process, so you can teach someone how to do it in the future since you do already know how to surf.
Okay, step 1. Arch my back.
Okay?
Step
Good.
2. Bring your knees forward.
Okay?
Okay. Like so.
Correct.
Both
Good
knees.
job. Both knees forward.
Okay.
Keep yourself centered on the
Center-
board, center of gravity. Yes.
Center. Okay.
Is that how you bring your feet forward, your knees?
Yeah?
I mean, do that again, Jonah.
Yeah.
Like if you were out in the water,
See,
is this how you would bring your knees forward, Jonah? Try
this
it.
is, go ahead, Jonah. Go ahead, student. That is how I would expect.
While you're on a wave?
That's how I would expect an elementary student who is not expected to go out and surf on their own to bring their knees forward.
Good.
Just because they're still keeping their center of gravity over the center of the board. And that's the most important thing. And as far as the wobbling of the board that may happen in the water while the wave is pushing them, your hands are doing a really good job of keeping the board balanced. So, okay, continue, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, down. Arch my back. Knees forward. Bring 1 foot forward. Oh, not flexible. Pivot.
Okay, so the 2 things that I saw that you might be able to do a little better is 1, you probably can scoot back just a hair when you're doing your initial laying down on the board, just to keep it in the center of the board. And the second thing is, as you're putting your front foot forward, make sure that as you're able to, or as you get ready to pivot your foot, that you're cutting your feet both in half with that stringer, with that center line.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and perform for me just real quick, one more time, please. Thank you.
Okay. Arch my back. Okay.
Good job.
Okay, arch my back.
Okay,
Bring my knees forward.
okay,
Bring 1 foot forward.
okay.
Bring. Pivot. Down.
Again, make sure that as much as you can that the stringers. Okay, good job.
Go.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Next.
coach.
Do I have to like say everything that Jonah's saying, or can
No,
I
you,
hear?
you can do it, and I'll help
Okay.
guide you.
I'm so scared your fin's gonna.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
This board breaks in half.
So-
on any break. You might want to scoot back just a little bit more, just to get center
What is so
gravity.
so
There you go. Perfect.
So you'd be like this, right?
Okay.
And then.
Okay. Let me Let me have you sit again. Go a little slower if I can.
I'm so scared this is gonna.
No, you're fine. Don't even
Are you
worry about
sure?
it. Yeah, if it breaks, it breaks. This is like my.
It's Costco anyways.
Exactly, I can go get a new one.
This thing is so good.
So yeah, I just go back just a little more if you would. And I'd like you to actually go through the
Okay.
talking through it because there are a couple of things that I saw that you did that I'd like to help you out with.
This is
Okay, so first is arch your
Arch
back.
your back.
If you could scoot your hands back just a little further, that'll
Oh.
help you keep your center of balance on the board. There you
arch
go.
your back.
Okay. Next.
Knees.
Good job. Good job.
Um,
You're taking your hand up. There you go. Keep your hands on the rails. Remember to.
and
Go
then.
ahead.
Wait. Do we put the foot that you said we are? So since I'm
So
regular.
no, your left foot should go forward because that's the one to your
So
regular.
left foot-
There you go. Perfect.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, and you want to make sure you keep your hands on the rail.
Definitely not. And then.
Pivot both of your feet. Stay low. Stay low is very important. You gotta stay low. Okay, we're gonna have a little more practice amongst everybody in a second. So thank you for that. Good initial assessment here of everybody's abilities.
Just wax all over him. He's so
Sorry.
good.
You can scoot back a little more gently. Sir.
Here?
Yeah.
There he goes.
Go ahead. Now I'm gonna tell you, arch your back. Go ahead.
Couple seconds. Please. Knees forward.
There you go. Now look down where your feet are. There you go. Make sure that they're more cut right in the middle. Do it again for me just real quick, and if you could, just verbalize a little more of those steps.
Okay. So, step one, arch your back. Couple seconds. And then you bring your knees flat. And then you bring your dominant foot flat. And then you pivot and step.
And make sure you, yeah, there you go. So if we can, all of us, including me, I mean, I have a habit of not doing this correctly. Make sure that when you're putting your back foot down or you're bringing your front foot forward, when you're able to pivot your feet down so you don't have to adjust where your foot is, try and make it so that as you pivot it, it will be cut in half right by the stringer. So basically adjust your foot, your footing before you pivot if you can.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So yeah, in this next phase of the lesson, let's see here, we're going to go ahead and do some coaching of each other as we go through. So initially, I'm gonna be on the board, and experienced surfer, you're gonna explain to me the steps, and I am gonna erase them off the board. So you're gonna explain to me the steps that I need to do in order to properly surf and stand up in this very elementary fashion.
Okay.
And then once I go, then once I'm on the board, then you're gonna be on the board with somebody, Alex being your coach and your guide. And then she'll be on the board with Jack explaining to her.
Gotcha.
And then you'll be on the board with, I may assist you or I may ask Jonah to assist you.
So I'm like all by myself in this.
Yeah, well,
I'm ready.
you're an experienced surfer, so I gotta, challenge you a little more. A little differentiation.
So am I
going on.
coaching Jonah? He's coaching you.
You're coaching him, Jack will be coaching you, and then
Okay.
slightly helping Jack, but I think he's got a pretty good.
All
Okay.
right. All right. First,
Ready?
you gotta lay down on the board.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
What's my next step?
The next step, you got the wave. You gotta arch your back. Grab the
Okay.
wrist. Arch your back. You
Alright.
feel the wave pushing you?
Yeah, I feel it pushing me. Am I doing a good job? Are my hands in the right place?
Yeah, you're doing
Okay.
great. Okay, now bring your legs forward.
Okay, bring my knees
Knees
forward.
forward. Knees forward.
Okay,
Good.
is this good?
Yeah, that's excellent. Now
Okay.
bring your dominant foot forward.
Okay, so
And make sure-
I'm regular, so I gotta put this one forward,
Make
okay?
sure it's cut by the stringer.
Okay, perfect, yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Now
Makes
stand
sense.
up, stay low,
Okay,
and pivot your feet so that they're
at the
both
same time.
at the same time.
Okay.
While juggling chainsaws.
While juggling. How did I do?
Good
You
job.
good?
Good
Right
job.
on, thank you. All right, so, yeah, that's it. It's, our experienced surfer did a good job. So if I could have you go ahead and we'll have Alex
Right on,
be your
Lord.
coach. Right on.
Oh yeah. Okay, arch your back. Oh, but make sure you're centered with the stringer.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so arch your back. Now put your knees up. And then put one foot forward. And then pivot both of your feet and stay low.
There you go.
Good, you
Right
almost
on.
caught a
Good job,
wave.
Jonah. Great job coaching, Alex. Great job. All right, you're ready.
I got you, Alex.
All right, Coach Jack over here.
Alright, Alex. Scoot back on the board just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, arch your back.
Oh wait, go.
Alright, now pull your knees forward.
Okay.
Now you're gonna put your dominant foot forward. Very good. Now you're gonna pivot and stand with your feet cut in half. Feet getting cut in half, you're gonna fall off the board. Slide that back on foot. And stay low. And stay low.
There you go, there you go. Good job, good job. So yeah,
That's
one thing
not
I want
my
to point out, a little in-flight adjustment here is that, you know, if you do stand up immediately, it's called rolling up the windows because you start doing this, like you're rolling up 2 windows of a car, and it's very easy to fall from that. It's very hard to recover from that. So that's why staying low is so important, so that you're in control of all of your muscles and you're not just letting yourself get thrown around by the way. All right, so let's go ahead and ask Mr. Jack to go through the processes. And our experienced surfer, again, just because you're such a great coach and so experienced, we'll make sure that you're able to coach Jack with the proper instruction of what he needs to do.
All right, Jack, grab the rails, you got the wave, arch your back, feel, put your knees forward. Good. Foot, bring one leg forward. Dominant foot forward on the stringer. Now stand up slowly. Your dominant foot needs to be a little bit farther forward on the board. Excellent, excellent. Cut by the stringer, right in half your feet. Nice, nice.
That was impressive. That was impressive. Good job, everybody. Great job. I'm very impressed with all of your, both your memorization, your knowledge, and your ability to perform the tasks that were required of you. Does anybody have any questions or feel like they might want to go ahead and try it again before we come to a close here?
I feel good.
You feel comfortable? Feel comfortable that if we were out in the water and Alex needed some guidance from you because I got eaten by a shark, you'd be able to, not that there's any sharks out there, you'd be able to instruct her on how to.
I feel more confident.
All right, right on. Okay, so again, when we get out in the water, when we get out in the water, the only thing you'll hear me say is arch your back. And why is that?
Because the wave's gonna take you away
Take you?
from you.
Yeah.
Take me away from you.
Exactly. So I can say arch your back and then you're gone, and I'm not going to be able to yell to you because you're going to be so far away or the wave is going to be blocking my voice from getting to you the rest of the steps. So that's why it's important to have these memorized and have them practice as we just went over. So I've erased them. We're going to call on you guys randomly as we go through the steps. So Jonah, what do you do when I say arch your back?
I arch my back.
Okay, good job. What is the next step, Jack?
Bring your knees forward.
Great, thank you. What is the next step,
One
Alex?
foot forward.
And which foot would that be for you?
Left.
Is that the same foot for everybody?
No,
And why is that?
because you're goofy or a loser.
Goofy or regular?
Oh, regular.
Sorry.
Okay.
I got one.
Okay, great. So Chelsea,
Yes.
what do they do when I say, or what are you going to do when I say arch your back?
Arch my back.
And what is the next step?
Pull my knees in.
Pull your knees
Knees
forward,
forward.
right? And why is it so important, just to, again, why is it so important that when we arch our back, our hands are here, our knees are here, when we put our front foot forward, we have 4 points of contact right in this section of the board. Why is that so important?
Because it's easy to balance that.
Easier to balance, because all of your center of gravity is going to be right in the middle of the board. Great, thank you, thank you. As we come to a close here, I'm going to go ahead and allow our experienced surfer to teach all of the steps to us, again, as if no one else is around except for just the experienced students. So if you could please, thank you.
So I'll demonstrate as I explain. Step one is you're on the wave. and you're going, and you feel it start to push you, and so you grab the rails. Step 1, grab the rails. Step 2, or step 1, out your back with your hands on the rails.
Right.
Step 2, get into kneeling position, like you're gonna pray, except for hold on to the rails. And then, step 3, position your feet, bring your dominant foot forward, cut and hop, when you pivot. Like so. And stay low, so you don't fall.
Good. Thank you. So as we get ready to go out in the water, I will go ahead and share with you the safety briefing, because it's a lot easier to do that when we're actually looking at the water, places to stay that are going to be safe for you. So thank you everyone for your participation, and we're all on the